The virtual world was once again made excited by a video that showed the alleged figures of BTS's Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin in one moment in Toronto. The video suddenly became the subject of conversation among fans after several accounts shared it through social media. In a short time, pieces of the video began to circulate widely. Many fans try to pay attention to every visible detail in the footage, from clothes, gait, body shape, to the figure that surrounds them. However, there is one important point that needs to be underlined. The identities of the people in the video could not be ascertained based solely on the footage. Due to the video quality, shooting angle, and limited duration, some fans choose to call it a conjecture or an unconfirmed sighting. Even so, precisely this uncertainty makes curiosity even greater. Why are the 4 big names of BTS directly associated with the video? Is it true that Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin were in Toronto at the same time? Or is the video just showing people who have a resemblance to them? It is these questions that then make the video widely discussed. A short video that sparked a furor. The videos circulating on social media are actually not too long. However, a few seconds of footage were enough to make the fans stop their activities and pay attention to the screen. In the video, several figures can be seen walking and being in an area that looks quite crowded. One of the figures then came to attention because it was considered to have a gait and posture similar to Jungkook. Not long after, other fans began to notice another figure who was considered similar to V. Then came the suggestion that the other 2 figures also have similarities with JHope and Jimin. From here, the discussion began to develop. Some fan accounts re-uploaded the video with different versions of the caption. For members of BTS were spotted together in Toronto. There are also those who choose to use question marks because there is no certainty about their identity. The difference in how to convey such information is quite important, because a video circulating on social media is not always proof that the person seen in it is really the figure mentioned. That is why many fans try to be careful while still enjoying the moment as a subject of conversation. Jungkook became one of the most highlighted figures. Of the 4 names mentioned, Jungkook became one of the members who received the most attention. It is not something surprising. Whenever a video appears that allegedly shows Jungkook in a place, fans usually immediately notice various small details. Starting from clothing models, hairstyles, shoulder shape, how to walk, to small habits when moving. In this Toronto video that is being discussed, some fans feel that one of the figures has characteristics that remind them of Jungkook. However, other fans actually asked that everyone not be too quick to draw conclusions. They argue that from a certain distance, a person can look very similar to an idol known to millions of people, especially if the video is secretly recorded at a distance. Lighting, camera quality, camera movement, and video compression can make a person's face look different. Because of this, the debate about Jungkook's alleged figure developed into 2 groups. The first group felt there were enough similarities, while the second group chose to wait for clearer information. And as always, these differences of opinion actually make the video even more talked about. The alleged figure of V also attracts attention. Not only Jungkook, a figure who is considered similar to V, is also the center of attention. V is known to have a very distinctive visual character. Therefore, when a person with a posture and style of dress that is considered similar to himself appears in a video, fans immediately try to make a comparison. Some fans notice the way the figure stands. Some compare the shape of the silhouette. Some people notice the style of dress and the way he moves when walking. However, again, visual similarity cannot serve as evidence that the figure is really V. Precisely for this reason, many comments appeared asking fans not to spread the information as if it had been confirmed. This kind of attitude actually shows that many fans are beginning to understand the importance of distinguishing between viral videos, conjectures, and official facts. A video can go viral in a matter of minutes, but the process of verifying the information contained in it can take much longer. JHope and Jimin. The furor grew even greater when some fans began to associate the other 2 figures with JHope and Jimin. If the assumption is true, of course the 4 BTS members together in one location will be something very interesting for ARMY. Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin have a long-standing relationship through various BTS activities. Over the years, fans have seen various moments of their togetherness, both on stage and behind the scenes. Therefore, when a video appears that allegedly shows all four in one place, it is natural that curiosity immediately arises. However, what is interesting is how fans try to find clues from something that is actually very simple. Head movement,
clothes, shoes, pick,
body shape, even the way a person puts their hands in their pockets. All such small details are checked by fans. Why do videos like this go viral so quickly? There's a reason why videos that are only a few seconds long can attract so much attention. BTS has a huge global fan base. Any member activity can be a concern, especially when it involves more than one member. When the names Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin appear at the same time, curiosity certainly gets higher. Added to this is the location of Toronto, which makes many people wonder about the context of a video. Are they doing personal activities? Are they there for a job? Do they just happen to be in the same area? Or is it really not them? The absence of a direct answer creates room for speculation.
Social media works that way.
A short video appeared. Someone made a theory. Another account shared it. Fans began to discuss. Then the video gained more viewers. The more people see it, the more theories emerge. ARMY starts doing frame-by-frame analysis. One of the interesting things about this phenomenon is how fans try to analyze the video in detail. Some people even slow down the video. Someone took a screenshot. There are also those who zoom in on certain parts to see figures that are considered similar to BTS members. However, this kind of analysis still has limitations. When a video has a low resolution, enlarging the image does not automatically make the information more accurate. On the contrary, the magnification process sometimes makes the image look even more blurry and opens up space for misinterpretation. That's why visual analysis of viral videos should be treated as fan discussion, not as confirmation of identity. And that becomes even more important when videos involve public figures. Speculation about activity in Toronto. After the video went viral, another, no less interesting question arose. If it's true that the four members are in Toronto, what are they doing? There are, of course, many possibilities. They could have been there for work. They may have an agenda. They may be traveling. Or it could even be that there are activities that are completely unrelated to work. However, without official information, all these possibilities remain only conjectures. Fans are starting to make theories. Some associate it with musical activity. Some people think there is a BTS agenda. Some people just feel happy to imagine the four members are enjoying their time together. On the other hand, some fans reminded that idols' personal life still needs to be respected. They argue that not all public sightings should serve as material for hunting down private information. BTS members' friendship back in the spotlight. Regardless of whether or not the identity in the video is true, the discussion again reminded fans of the close relationship between BTS members. Jungkook, Jimin, V, and JHope have come a long way together. They go through a period of training, debuts, world tours, various award shows, music recordings, interviews, to various moments that are not always visible to the public. Therefore, the togetherness of the four members always has its own emotional value for the ARMY. Many fans feel that simple moments like walking together, talking, laughing, or simply being in the same location are enough to make them happy. There doesn't always have to be a big stage. There doesn't always have to be a show. Sometimes a small moment becomes the most memorable. Jimin is also a concern. Jimin is one of the names that is then mentioned a lot in the discussion about the video. Fans tried to compare the figure in the video with various appearances of Jimin known to them. However, as with Jungkook and V, there is not enough basis just from a short video to confirm the identity. What is interesting is how the fan community has a very strong visual memory. They can recognize certain hairstyles. They can remember clothes that were once used. Even some fans claim to be able to recognize the members only from the silhouette or the way they walk. But such capabilities are still not a substitute for official confirmation. Therefore, even if the video is interesting to discuss, the final conclusions should still be held until there is really reliable information. JHope and his alleged presence. The name JHope also helped make the attention to the video even higher. JHope is known as one of the BTS members who has an easily recognizable style. In the video circulating, one of the figures is considered to have a resemblance to him. However, again the same question arises. Is that JHope? Or just someone with a similar posture and style of dress? This simple question turned out to be not so easy to answer. The camera can remotely change the perception. Even someone who sees the same video can come to different conclusions. That's why the use of words like suspected, looks similar, or unconfirmed is so important in discussing these kinds of videos. Toronto becomes the center of attention. Before the video appeared, perhaps some fans had no particular reason to connect the four members with Toronto. But after the video circulated, the name of the city immediately became part of the conversation. Toronto is one of the major cities in Canada that is often the destination of various international artists. The city also has many lively public locations and is often a place of activity for tourists and famous figures. If an artist is in a public area, the possibility of them being seen by the public is always there. But when the figure seen is allegedly 4 BTS members at once, attention certainly increases many times over. Fan reactions were mixed. The ARMY's reaction to the video was mixed. Some were immediately enthusiastic. There are those who feel happy because they imagine the 4 members are together. Some are asking for higher quality videos. Some say they should wait for official information before believing it. Some fans even chose to enjoy the video without worrying too much about whether the figure in it is really a BTS member. For them, the most important thing is that the moment reminds them of the friendship of the members. However, there are also fans who remind that the video should not be used to spread personal information or make excessive speculation. Such a view is also important. Supporting idols does not mean knowing their personal activities. Sometimes giving space is also a form of support. Why is the question mark in the title so important? The caption reads, Jungkook, v. JHope and Jimin spotted together in Toronto, using a question mark because the information is not necessarily confirmed. The question mark is not just part of the title. It was a sign that the information discussed was conjecture based on the video that circulated. It is important that the audience understands the context from the very beginning. Viral videos are not always the same as official news. Likewise with fan uploads. An account can upload a video and write that the person in it is Jungkook, but the writing does not automatically become evidence. Therefore, viewers should always distinguish between what is seen, what is suspected, and what has been confirmed. It is possible that the video looks different from reality. One factor that is often forgotten in viral videos is context. We only see a few seconds. We don't know what happened a few minutes before the video was shot. We also don't know what happens after the camera stops recording. Even the actual location is sometimes not easy to recognize. Someone who looks like they are walking together is not necessarily doing the same activity. They could have been in the same location by chance. Therefore, any theories regarding the video should be viewed with caution. If true, it will certainly be a special moment. Now, let's suppose. If at any time there is confirmation that the figures in the video are indeed Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin, of course the moment will be very interesting news for fans. Imagine 4 BTS members walking together in Toronto, without a stage, without concert lights, without choreography. Just a simple moment in between their activities. For the ARMY, such a sight can seem very special. For years, fans have watched BTS's journey in various conditions, starting from the early days of his career to becoming one of the most recognizable groups in the world. Every moment of togetherness becomes part of that long journey. But if not them? On the other hand, it is possible that the figure in the video is not a BTS member. If so, the video remains an example of how quickly information evolves on social media. One visual resemblance can turn out to be conjecture. Conjecture can turn into a title. The title can turn into a global conversation. And finally, people who initially had only glimpses begin to believe the information as fact. This phenomenon does not only occur in BTS. Many other celebrities have also experienced something similar. Therefore, caution is still required. The most interesting is precisely the response of the ARMY. Regardless of who exactly is the figure in the video, one thing that cannot be denied is the magnitude of fan curiosity. ARMY has a very great attention to every member activity. Even a few seconds of video can be the subject of a long discussion.
Some analyze clothes.
Someone pay attention to the location. Some compare postures. Some are looking for a better quality version of the video. Some simply wrote that they hope the four members are really enjoying their time together. All of these responses show how strong the emotional connection between BTS and its fans is. Do not rush to take rumors as fact. This is the most important part of the story. Viral videos are interesting. The allegations about Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin are indeed curious. However, until there is a clear confirmation, the information should still be regarded as conjecture based on the video in circulation. Do not turn conjectures into facts. Do not share unconfirmed personal information. Enjoying fan content is fine. Talking about theory is also part of the fandom community. But it is still important to keep the line between entertainment and reality. A simple moment can go viral. This Toronto video phenomenon once again shows how much public attention is paid to BTS. A short recording without a long explanation can create thousands of questions. Is it really them? Why are they in Toronto? Are they together? Is there a specific agenda? Or just a coincidence? All of these questions make the video even more interesting to watch. However, it may be precisely that uncertainty that keeps many people coming back to watch. Everyone tries to see something that might be missed. Each frame feels like it has a new clue, and each comment makes the next theory appear. ARMY's still waiting for answers. In the end, the most anticipated is certainly the information that is really reliable. If indeed Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin are in Toronto, maybe someday there will be official information or uploads from reliable sources that provide context. But if it turns out that the video only shows people who have similarities, then at least this incident is a reminder that social media can make a guess develop very quickly. Meanwhile, the ARMY can enjoy the moment while maintaining a critical attitude. No need to rush. No need to force conclusions. Let the information develop based on the facts. Cover: viral videos that still leave question marks. Jungkook, V, JHope, and Jimin are back in the limelight after a video from Toronto allegedly showed all four figures in one moment. The video attracted attention due to the similarity of some figures with BTS members. But until their identities are actually confirmed, all the discussion is still at the level of conjecture.